Good morning. Today, you guys are going to be working on the beginning of our probability unit. Probability, we are going to be able to do some really fun interactive experiments where you'll be doing things like flipping coins, rolling dice, spinning spinners. Some of that you'll be doing actually with items you have. Some of the things we'll be doing um, with like interactive online tools. Before we can get to that stuff, we need to have a foundational understanding of some different vocab and how we discuss probability and how we formalize what we know about probability. So today you guys are going to start looking at something called likelihood. Likelihood we describe in 5 different ways or with 5 different words or phrases. The first one is impossible. I'm hoping that one doesn't need a lot of explanation, but that's something where there is no chance of it happening. We would say it's a 0% probability. Something like it's snowing in July in Ohio. I'm going to say that's impossible. Now, you could argue that there's some ridiculous event that could happen that would cause it, maybe, but that's also going to be outside the normal climate in Ohio in July. The next one is unlikely. That's something where we're saying, okay, it's not impossible. There's not no chance of it happening, but it's kind of not, we're not really counting on it happening. So if, let's say, the weatherman says there's a 20% chance of rain. Now, that's not saying it's impossible. There could be rain, but I'm going to say it's unlikely. The next one is equally likely. Sometimes you'll see it written as likely and unlikely to occur or equally likely to occur as not. I typically just say equally likely. It's a little shorter, but that's something that's falling in that like 50-50 range, but even just a little bit on either side of it. It doesn't have to be exactly a 50% chance to say that it's equally likely. So again, let's go with our wonderful weathermen. Let's say a weather person says there's a 60% chance of rain. Okay, now that's kind of, I'm bringing my umbrella. But I'm going to say that's pretty equally likely. It might rain, it might not rain, but I'm going to be prepared just in case. Then we move to something called likely. Likely is where I'm not 100% sure it's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So I would say it's likely that my kids are going to come and ask me for a snack this afternoon because they do every other day. I'm not saying it's certain. Maybe they'll magically decide that they don't need a snack or they'll realize they can get them on their own and not come ask me. But I'm going to say it's likely they're going to come and ask me. The last one is certain. This is where it is absolutely going to happen. For sure, there is no doubt. It is a 100% certainty that it will happen. So be careful when you're using these terms because if you use impossible, you are saying there is no chance in the world that it will happen. So I could say, all right, I'm rolling a dice. I have a dice that is labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a normal dice. I roll it one time. It is impossible that I will roll an 8. There's no 8 on the dice. It is impossible. There's no way for that to happen. If I'm flipping a coin, I could say, well, I'm certain it's going to land on heads or tails. There's no other option. So make sure, especially when you're using that impossible and the certain, that you're certain one of those ways, because if you're using those are kind of the extremes where you're saying there is absolutely no chance or it is for sure happening. Those terms unlikely, equally likely, and likely kind of cover a range in the middle where you can be a little more wishy-washy about exactly what it is. But kind of keep in mind Wednesday, the next day we are together, we're going to look at how we then put a number with that. So we've already kind of just talked about it being 0%, about 50%, and 100%. We're going to talk on Wednesday about how we figure those out. And then we can kind of combine our number probability with our word description of likelihood. If, depending on when you're watching this, on Monday of this week and then Wednesday and Friday when you have a math assignment, I will be holding a Schoology conference where you can log in and I'm going to kind of do a quick explanation. Sometimes it might be an example or a mini lesson. This week with probability, it's probably just going to be an explanation, and then you can ask questions. That's something where if you are available and want to, pop in and say hi and listen for a minute, get your question answered, that's great. If you're not available during that time, that's fine too. Those will be happening any day we have a math assignment at 10 o'clock in the morning for about 20 minutes. And then again at 1:30 in the afternoon, again for about 20 minutes. If you need help outside of those times, send me an email or a Schoology message. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I know sometimes it's really tricky to ask and answer math questions through an email. We'll do our best. Sometimes what I've been doing is I've been kind of showing my work on a piece of paper, getting you partway there, and then I take a picture of it and send it to you. And that can be my hint to you and to get you thinking. But please ask for help when you need it. Your assignment today has a due date of tomorrow. Again, I'm not taking off points if it's late. I'm just trying to make sure you're staying on top of your assignments. And then you'll be getting another math assignment this week on Wednesday, and then another one on Friday. I hope you all have a great day. See ya.